How to complete the TSFE Fan Dance Trinity. My name is Ferdy, let's get straight into it. UK based TSFE offers 3 events across their Fan Dance weekends, consisting of a load-bearing 24k march on the Saturday morning, which is the infamous Fan Dance pre-selection route used by UK Special Forces. Then that same day in the evening you've got Dark Trail, which starts in the evening, which is similar distance but a different route. And then finally Sunday morning there is a rerun of the original Fan Dance route, load bearing, so different categories. It's £35 for the standard route. If you're over 50 like me, you can drop down to £25. Water and food comes on top, and you can choose clean fatigue, which means you just have to carry the mandatory kit list, which would still add up to at least, I'd say, £10-15 by the time you've got your water. Now, participants can complete 1 or 2, any combination, day or night or both days, or the Big Daddy Trinity, which is all 3 events in one weekend. I did that last year. I was fortunate to win my age category, which is the over 50s, and today I'm going to share some tips with you. It is now a few days before Winter Trinity 2024, where I shall be taking part. So these tips are not about training. You know, when you get to this point, your training should be done. This is about tips on the day or the days leading up to the event, the way that I approach the challenge. Tip number 1. Hard routine. The hardest moment of Trinity is getting out of bed early the Sunday morning. You will have completed the Fan Dance on the Saturday morning. You will have then done Dark Trail, got back to wherever it is you're sleeping way past midnight, and then with only a few hours of kip, you know, with something like at least 40k, anywhere between 40 and 45k in your legs, you now have to get up and do it all again. With hard routine, I mean that I personally choose to camp. Okay, even though it's winter, I found a little campsite that was still open. Showers were frozen, no hot water. Obviously, I got my own camping set with me, but I did that on purpose because it helps me with the mindset to look at a multi-event challenge, whether you're doing 2 or 3, as one big event. It's not over until you've completed all the events you've signed up for. So not being able to go back to a warm room and sleep under a duvet helped me with that mindset, because I think I would have really struggled that morning of the Sunday to crawl out from under a nice warm duvet, carpets on the floor, and to then make myself go and sit in my car and drive to Pont Ardaf car park. However, if you wake up in a tent and it's cold, there's frozen condensed on the inside of it. To be honest, the prospect of sitting in my car with the heating on was quite appealing. So with hard routine, I mean, don't get comfortable in between events. But from the moment I arrive until it's finished, I'm in that event mindset and I do not get comfortable. I'm outdoors, completely focused on using all the time in between events, prepare food and get some kip. I have a little helper here. This is Luigi, who is helping me with the preparation. So Luigi, what do you reckon? What do you reckon about these ration packs? Is this the right menu choice? So that is what we got here. Pasta bolognese, all day breakfast, Indonesian style spicy rice with pork. Tip number 2, pack 2 sets. One is the set that goes in your Bergen, and the main body of your Bergen, unless there's an emergency, I don't go in it, okay, except maybe to get a fleece, like an emergency fleece that I keep right at the top. So I will live out of the outside of my pack. Hat and gloves right at the top. Food and drink either on my body or on the outside pouches. Now I will show my pack. Choose a pack with nice generous pouches on the outside, hat and gloves up here, food, water, a rain jacket, again easily accessible through one of the zippers. So the inside of the pack is carefully weighed, okay? That's my 25 mandatory weight, mandatory kit list, water on top, and then I will have 24 hours of food in my pack. But again, I would not look to use that unless there is an actual emergency. So that is not the rat packs that I'm going to be eating in between the events. Secondly, is all the clothes I'm actually going to be wearing. Now, clean, dry clothes are absolutely crucial. So I keep the stuff I sleep in my sleeping bag, in my tent. And then I've got a complete set of clean clothes, right down to long johns, thermal underwear for the days, okay? But at least having that ability to get into dry, clean clothes is great for morale and great for actual maintaining a healthy, functional body. Because you're going to be sweaty and sweat will turn cold and it will make it harder to regulate your body temperature. So tip 2 is all about keeping those 2 completely separate sets of kit. That brings us to tip number 3, temperature modulation. So what I'll be wearing, my outer layer, so obviously you've got your base layer, in my case it's thermals, you've got your mid layer, and the outer layer I choose a smock. So outdoor smock, that's cotton and polyester, that's got no plastic or Gore-Tex in it, okay, so for maximum breathability. It's therefore water resistant. It's absolutely not waterproof, and that is for maximum breathability. It's got a hood. I'll obviously be wearing a cap, woolly hat, and then my mid layer is zipped. So I'm actually able, unless it's raining, obviously in case of rain, then I will get a Gore-Tex little waterproof jacket from my Bergen and put that over. That's a huge jacket that fits over the smock. Wear that when it's raining. If it's not raining, I've got those 3 layers, and then because of all the zips, because of the fact that I can take my hat on or off, I don't actually need to layer up, layer down. So they say be bold, start cold, and that's great if you're doing one event. But if you're doing Trinity, then you're going to be outside doing events for at least 15 hours, probably more like 16 or 17 if you count, hanging around for the registration. So I have no intention of starting cold. I've got those 3 layers. As I get hot, I just zip. I've got a zip of the outer layer, zip of the mid layer. I can take my cap off, and last year that was actually fine. Tip 4, which is the food. So we've talked about the rat packs. So that's what I eat prior and in between the events. Easy to prepare. I've obviously got a cooking. I've got a camping gas cook equipment by my tent, which means I'm maximizing the time that I'm recovering. The evening before the event, I eat a lot. I probably eat an entire rat pack of 4,000 calories. So I feel nice and bloated, which actually helps me sleep because the nerves are a thing the night before an event. And then I'm so bloated and full that I will not feel like eating in the morning, and I may force myself to just have a banana. What I won't do, and that's a mistake I made once, what I won't do is have like an egg and bacon roll. I mean, everyone's different. In my case, that was not a good idea, because come start, your heart rate's going to be racing. You've got the sort of shock of capture experience of, you can't simulate the excitement and tension of race day. So your heart's racing, and then if you've just eaten and you're going uphill, it's just not a good idea. So everyone's different, but in my case, get all the calories in the night before, just a banana. And obviously during the event, I'm absolutely refueling. Okay, so again, everyone's got their own preference. In my case, I like freshly baked flapjacks, so I personally get them at Talibon stores, which is a little place in Talibon on Usk. Any sort of fresh baker. I basically get stuff that I enjoy eating. I don't get gels or any sort of supplements. Why would I? I mean, I much prefer to have food that I actually enjoy eating. So then it's a morale boost as well. So I have, could be a slice of banana cake, right? So some flapjacks for my sort of carbs, and then in my case mixed nuts. So obviously get sweet stuff, get salty stuff to sustain yourself, and then as part of your Mandatory kit, you've obviously got 24-hour rations in your Bergen. If for whatever reason you either, in the unlikely event you get lost, or indeed you get injured and you have to sustain yourself for a longer period of time. And then, like I said, in between the events, I've got my ration packs. And then after the event, I reward myself. And then my tradition is I go for a fish and chips. I probably have more than one. That is my reward food. Different for everyone. But when it comes to food, that is the sequence that I use. Tip number 5. If you have multiple backpacks, take the biggest. So I'll show you the one that I'll be using this weekend. 110 litres goes in there. Far too big for the weight that I'm carrying, which is only 25 pounds plus water and food. But the reason I like the big pack is you get thicker padding. It's designed to carry heavier weight, so you've got that extra comfort. For the event, the weight of the pack counts towards the weight anyway. I would rather have that more comfortable pack designed for a heavier load, the thicker padding, outside frame. So whatever pack you have, I'm sure is fine. If you do have a choice, err on the side of large. Tip number 6, use outdoor stores, real world outdoor stores. Now at this point, so it's a few days before the event, you've probably got all your kit. However, if you're like me, there's always one or two things that you've either haven't got, or whatever, or you've lost, or you weren't happy with the way it functioned last time. So what I then like to do is I go to real world outdoor stores. Weather conditions may have changed where you weren't prepared for them. Brecon has a number of good stores. If you're traveling to Brecon from wherever you're going, do some research, find some good stores that you can stop off at. By using outdoor stores, you are supporting the outdoors ecosystem. We all love our outdoor hobby. It's important to support those retail stores that can supply us. Obviously, if you go online, you're not going to get that expertise. Yes, you're going to read some reviews, but the ability to speak to the specialist, explain what you're going to use it for, you should be okay, especially if you've got the advice of a knowledgeable person. Tip number 7, if you have multiple pairs of boots, take all of them. Okay, so I have multiple pairs of boots, obviously provided they have ankle protection, provided they're broken in and you've got experience walking on them. Clearly you don't want to break in your boots during the event, but if, like me, you've got several pairs of boots, you know each pair, then on the conditions of the day at the start of the event, you can make that decision which are the best boots for the job. Tip number 8, the final and most important tip. Trust yourself. You've now done the training. So the word self-confidence comes from Latin fides, which means trust. Self-confidence is about self-trust. Proving that reliability to yourself, knowing that you can trust yourself to get a difficult job done. That is the true root of self-confidence. I don't care how many books or how many influencers say, oh, look in the mirror every morning, say, go on, Tiger, you're the best, you're the champion. It's complete BS. It's just talk. The only real way to grow true self-confidence is to repeatedly demonstrate your self-reliability, that you can be relied upon to get the job done. Now that means that bar sustaining a prohibitive injury, you will keep going and you will finish the job, thereby earning the trust of someone who really matters, yourself. Good luck this weekend, guys. I will see you there. Stand by, stand by.